Who is the best player you've ever managed over the years?
Well, that's an hard one, isn't it? Because, you know, I'd have to say, for many reasons, and there's many of them, I'd have to turn back to JJ Okocha. I think that we signed him after the World Cup had finished from Paris Saint-Germain. We got him on a free transfer. Imagine that now, JJ Okocha on a free transfer.
And coming from Paris to Bolton, what a move.
Yeah.
He'd always dreamed of that, Sam.
I know, it was amazing, wasn't it? It did have something to do with the rather large wages we paid him, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that I met him in Paris. I met him before he went to the World Cup, and he's saying, I'll have to see what's going on. I want to come to England, and obviously he were thinking at the time we weren't really big enough for him. We got that, but at least we'd met him. And obviously he came back from the World Cup and nothing were happening. So we arranged to meet him again, me and my agent, and we met him again in Paris. And to our surprise, we did the deal in Charles de Gaulle Airport. And I thought, oh, that's fantastic. I rang the chairman up and said, we've done the deal. What's the wages? He fell through his chair. And I said, don't worry about it. This guy's going to help us turn what we are a York IF and him together. We're going to build a great team. And I said to JJ, are you coming? Are you going to stay overnight here, fly back? He said, look, I'll drive there tomorrow. So we came back on the plane and thought we might not see him again. And he jumped in his car the day after, went through the tunnel, drove up and arrived at the Reebok Stadium late afternoon and signed him on. It was what he gave to the dressing room as well as what the entertainment value he gave on the pitch. He became the captain. He could speak 4 languages. He showed everybody how to play the game of football. And there's some of the tricks. It wasn't just the tricks. It was the fact that the tricks paid off. If he did a trick, he didn't lose the ball. He came out the other end with it. And the whole crowd would get on the feet, and we were selling these shirts. JJ's so good, they'd named him twice, and the old buzz around the Reebok Stadium was, one of the delight with the quality of JJ Okocha.
Number 3 is JJ Okocha.
Oh, I remember him. Got his shirt.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think I got one of his shirts, actually. The first time I played against him a couple of times when he was at Bolton. And he's the only player I've ever played against who did 2 things to me in one game, which
wound you up.
Yeah. The first one was a Megs, and I've been Meg by other players.
Yeah.
But it was a lovely one, and he got round, and a proper one.
Yeah.
I thought, I've dived in a bit. I've got to give this fella some respect.
Yeah.
And the other one, he was stuck in a corner, and he scooped one over my head. You know, like you go in, and he scooped it over my head and got it the other side.
Yeah.
And and you just raging. I couldn't get near him.
No?
Mate, he had all sorts. He always played with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had like that freedom to try things that I wouldn't want to try in a game.
He looked strong as anything, by the way.
And he could shoot.
Both. Do you know what? Sorry, he scored a goal that don't get talked about enough. A free kick he hit with the outside of his boot.
Yeah.
Most people would go left or go that way. He goes outside of the boot, kind of round the wall.
Just a free spirit. Just an absolute, talent in skill, playing with that creativity. I mean, Aldice made some great signings around that time, like older players.
Campo, Jokayev, Hierro,
people like that.
But did that team, I wouldn't say underachieve, but
no,
I know they were like aging superstars, but were they still as effective?
He got them into Europe. Bolton Wanderers in Europe. Yeah. I mean, they come to Anfield and beat us twice, I think. And that should never, no disrespect to Bolton, but that was because of Sam.
Yeah.
But JJ number 3 for me, incredible. Go on, you.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, there have been so many. Yeah. I mean, 3 perhaps relatively obvious ones, maybe from different decades, if you like, of the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to JJ Okocha, who was towards the start of the Premier League era, and he was just a beautiful conjurer. And he was one of those who you thought, he understands how lucky he is to be a professional footballer. He does, yeah. He played with a smile. Yeah. He was an entertainer. He was a juggler, a conjurer. a dancer.
Yeah.
You know, the great commentary line on him, of course, wasn't it? JJ Okocha, so good they named him twice.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
JJ.
yeah.
And
Is that your line?
Not mine, no, no,
right.
somebody else. But it's a great line.
It's
It
a
is a
great
great
line,
line.
yeah.
And you know, and he played for Bolton, which, as you know, is not one of the natural winners.
No,
you know,
but that's what a team they had.
but they had an incredible team. They qualified for Europe and all of
Yeah,
that
they did,
under
yeah.
Sam Allardyce. And he was just fun. You know, when he was there, you didn't need floodlights. You know, he lit the place up.
Yeah.
And
I play even like now against like Legends games and stuff.
Yeah.
And they still got it.
can he still do it?
Can I still do it?
Yeah, I bet he
still
can.
do it.
What a free kick he would take.
But JJ was a particularly interesting story. It's sad that I'm always doing this though, going back to Bolton and really nowhere else. But you can understand that that's nearly all my life. You know what I mean? So my agent rang me, said, "I've arranged for a meeting with JJ Okocha in Charles de Gaulle Airport." So, why? He said, "Well, he's on a free." I said, "Oh, all right then."
Why there?
All right, let's go. So we went to see JJ in Charles de Gaulle Airport, and it's just before he's going to the World Cup. He's wanted to come to play in the Premier League like the old days, which is great now because he went. So he said, "I'll see how we're going. I'll go and play in the World Cup, and when I come back, I'll see what's." So we thought, well, we sort of introduced ourselves, like, know where we are. Comes back from the World Cup. He rings up and said, nobody's come for him yet, So we went to see him again in Charles de Gaulle, and he had no agent. We were like, where's your agent? Don't need one. I went, wow. Now that's bloody impressive. Right. When they don't have an agent. So we talked about everything. We talked about the money. And he said, yeah, I'll come. I said, oh, right, okay. So I said, what are you going to do? He says, I'll drive there tomorrow. I went, you are? He said, yeah, I'll drive. I said, okay. I said, do you not want to stay overnight and fly with us? Because now I'm saying I want to keep him in the hotel and fly tomorrow before something else might happen. You know what I mean? Because I'd had a couple of players in my time that were supposed to land in Manchester, and when they landed in Manchester, some other agent picked them up and drove them somewhere else. You know what I mean? So he drove all the way from Paris to Bolton the day after, and that's when we signed him on.
Don't know. I know. I'm just expecting like car full of pillows and that. Pillows and bed sheets and stuff.
How would you get him? Like, I mean, but he's so good. They named him twice, obviously. That was his nickname at Bolton Wanderers. The fans took really well to that. They sorted out like me. But I didn't realise how good a personality he was and how good a leader he was, because we made him captain, and he managed to lead the team on and off the field as well, but particularly on the field with his ability. So,
did you ever have to reel him in?
No.
With his
occasionally
tricks
I said, don't do it. Don't, please. Not in your own half.
Please.
Please.
Please, JJ.
You know what I mean? Sometimes he did it in his own half and he'd look over at me like that.
JJ, the penalty today. Tell me about it.
Well, I think I changed my mind, during the last minute, and that cost me the penalty, I think.
And Peter Schmeichel, do you think you would have saved it even if it had been on target?
Well, no. Well, it was lack of concentration on my side, because Yuri obstructed me, and I started thinking maybe Schmeichel saw the one I took last 2 weeks, so I decided to change my mind last minute, but I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept my cool and played the way I used to play, but it happens sometimes.
Well, you let that affect you, didn't you? Because after that, you were magnificent, world class.
Well, I started motivating myself, because I knew that I could have put the team in a good position. I did when I scored the penalty, so I said I have to try and do my best to bring back the advantage that we were supposed to have had, and luckily for me, I had that run and we went in.
And the way you do it is with pure skill on the ball?
Well, yes, that's my advantage. That's my quality, and That's why I'm here to produce my qualities, and I'm glad that I'm doing that for Bolton.
When you produce that, you should be at somewhere like Real Madrid, not Bolton Wanderers.
Well, I don't know. Anywhere I find myself, I try to give my best. I try to show that I want my wages, and I'm glad that I'm doing it here.
So you're enjoying yourself now at Bolton? You get the nice freedom in the midfield?
Well, yes. I think I'm very used to the Premiership now, and I'm enjoying myself. Even though I'm here in Bolton, even though we are playing to stay in the Premiership, I'm still doing my best to enjoy the game as much as I can. Every week you make the Sky Sports Skill of the Week, and you've done it again this week. Well, we were 2-0 up, and it seems funny sometimes because that's the only way I see myself getting out of trouble when I'm in trouble, to do something that the defender will not even think of. So that's my way of getting myself out of a difficult situation. Brilliant. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
For you, who would you say stand out in different ways, not only on the pitch?
Oh, we've had so much amazing talent come to the Premier League, players from the African continent. I would probably say JJ Okocha.
Oh, yeah.
Because of when he first arrived, I mean, how Sam persuaded him to sign for Bolton, I've no idea. But he what we were talking about just now, he wasn't afraid, off the cuff, the trickery during games. But it was never for show. He wasn't a show off. He was a showman. Yeah. And there's a distinct difference. Exactly. So I'll probably say JJ. Oh, and can't help it in the media when they're a good lad and helpful as well. He had a wonderful smile. Yeah. He was a fantastic footballer, physically strong. He was more than just a show pony.